Hi guys, so I want to share with you today ways in which to make some real changes in your lives. Um, First of all, you can't get anywhere with the same mindset that you have right now because it's the mindset that you have right now that's keeping you stuck. So, how you think right now needs to change, and it's not going to change automatically overnight. So, it's creating new habits that change your thoughts and consequently change your beliefs. So, it's your beliefs that dictate the choices that you make. You might be able to rationalize things and say, well, no, I know that this is true, but it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to follow that path if your belief says, no, don't go there. It's scary out there. It's the unknown. Stay put here. It's uncomfortable, but it's really familiar and there's comfort in familiarity. So I'm just going to stay put, lean on what I know, and stay in this kind of mundane territory and this kind of sense of stuckness. So here's a few things that you can do to shift those patterns. The first thing you need to do is to get really clear on what it is that you want in your life, all right? Without all of the excuses as to why you can't do it. This is an opportunity for you to put down your life, put down all of the rationalities and drop your reality in order to dream. Do you remember when you were a kid and you could just dream about anything and there was no solid reality for you at that point? It was just, wouldn't it be great to just lay on our backs at the Grand Canyon and just, it could be anything. Terrible example, but you know where I'm coming from. The second thing, once you've figured out exactly what it is that you want to create in your life, what kind of change you want to create, is to look at why you're not doing it now. And there'll be a fear element there somewhere that is stopping you from doing what you want to do. So my suggestion would be to very gently take a look at your life, take a look at your beliefs, and try and figure out what it is that's stopping you from doing what it is you want to do. And quite often it's self-doubt, the belief that that possibility just isn't there for you. There's no way, you don't have time. You have always failed at everything you've tried, so why on earth is this going to work? There are so many excuses, and if you can get clear on what it is that's making you afraid to move forwards, just knowing what it is and just looking at it disempowers it, because at the moment the fear is an emotion. The fear is in your body. So you think of that reason. Let's say, for argument's sake, the reason is you doubt yourself. When you think about the doubt, that comes up with accompanying emotions. So you feel fear, or you feel some kind of emotion that kind of stops you in your track. So being able to look at that emotion and acknowledge that it's there. Don't just pent it up. Don't try to just ignore it because it's scary looking. Point it out, acknowledge that it's there. And when you can look at those emotions, it just disempowers the emotion. Emotions have a tendency to kind of control what you do. And by looking at the emotion, it just takes a bit of that power back because you're no longer afraid to look at it. So that's step 2. Step 3 is to create new beliefs. And the way we create new beliefs is to create new habits. Okay, so I love this part. Creating new habits is difficult because the fear is in the way. The fear of the unknown is there, and the discomfort of putting yourself in a new situation is terrifying. So to create a new habit requires a lot of courage. And it might only be a small habit, and habits tend to be just little things, but to do it frequently can be quite daunting. So if it's to be more organized, if it's to start putting a different spin on your beliefs, if it's starting to take new kinds of action, or it could be anything, putting yourself in new environments, speaking to new kinds of people, reaching for help, any of that stuff. If you just permit yourself to do it and step through that fear, when you come out of the other side, there's such huge elation attached to that, because you've just overcome an obstacle that you thought was too big for you. And in achieving that, you start to develop a new kind of momentum, and there's a great deal of excitement that comes in that kind of progress. And so changing those habits on a very small level, but doing it frequently, allows you to start changing what you thought to be true to something new. So that third element is the key to getting you to change your life, but it's never going to happen unless you can look at your resistances. Your resistances are the fears that stop you from changing the habits. Okay, so think about and ask yourself, what is it when I want to change my habit that's stopping me? Where do I feel a sense of not enoughness? Where does the doubt come from? What is that story? What is it that I'm presenting to myself that I'm perceiving to be true that I might be able to change? And in that exploration of what's stopping you, that's when you start to overcome those fears and change what you do in your life.